That's the On the Dock rendition of Mr. Otis Redding, On the Dock of the Bay. The keyboard player, Dustin Griffith, had never heard the song when he played it, so it was so dissimilar to the rhythm that the record company said, you can play it because it's not an exact copy. And we got approved by our CA for that on the dock.org every Tuesday and Thursday, starting off with the sounds of sitting on the dock of the bay. I just feel like this right now. We're all about conversation. They're all having a conversation. Propel your faith out of the shallow into the deep. I'm Pastor Troy. We're glad you're here with us on the dock.org, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. It's how you can find us. Google Play, Facebook, Roku, Rumble, Sermonet, all those extra ones just in case everybody kicks us off. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, and Getter. We'd love to hear from you through our social media feeds. We'd love to hear content, information. Tell us what you like to see. What's something else you'd like us to spotlight? What's a pastor you know that's doing incredible work in our Building a Stronger Church series that we'd like to get us on and hear about? Tell us about that. We'd love to hear it. Subscribe, hit like, chat with us, notify us, tell us what's going on, communicate, and be a part of our show. We want to interact with you. Go to On the Dock with Pastor Troy after you download the Patreon app with your Apple iPhone or with your Droid device, and find out how you can be an On the Dock partner. If you become On the Dock partner, look at this. See this cup here? If you're a partner, we'll give you a cup. Oh, nice. By the way, your cups are yours. You don't even have a cup. You've never gotten a cup, right?
Have you
already stolen the cup?
I think I stole.
He's our executive director.
I think I stole
the
one.
cup's yours. Angie,
thanks.
take both of those too.
No,
We have 2 cases of them. That's what
That's
you
nice.
get one as a guest. And if you become a partner, it tells you how to get a cup. If you become a sponsor of this show, there's a whole different level. If you're a business, organization, whatever, we can do some spotlight work with you. We'll identify your product. A lot of times, like we got Crown Brew glasses on here. Now, Josh didn't give me anything today from Crown Brew, but he's my son, so that's okay. I'm going to go live with him when I'm decrepit and I can't live on my own, and I'm going to get mine back, But by the way, go check that out, SLNT. We are partners with them. We're an affiliate partner with SLNT.com. Go to promo code OTD. Get your Faraday bag product from Silent. I know it's what SLNT is like silent, okay? All right, it will silence you, reclaim your right to privacy. There are times when you want Google to listen. There's times when you don't. There's times when you want people to steal your credit cards. Well, I guess you never want them to steal your credit cards. If you don't want them to, when you're in those certain places or your key fob or whatever device or something you got sensitive, they make Faraday bag products, all kinds of things. Check that out. www.slnt.com, discount /OTD. Go check that out. Or go to slnt.com if you can't remember all that stuff I just said. Put in at the end, OTD. You'll get all of our discounts, our special deal, and find out more. And at the end of this episode, we'll run a little commercial.
You know what I really like about their products?
Yeah.
The color.
They're black.
They're black. All of them are your color. Yeah. Even gray is about the most color you get there.
Yeah.
They're all that they need to. Hey,
this looks cool.
Hey, they give us marketing alerts because we're marketing for them, but they're not out yet. But they're supposed to be coming up with some camo stuff. So I don't know if the camo is that green guy's shirt back there, or if they're coming out with. But there's some sort of camo product.
You wouldn't be able to see
camo products coming out.
Invisible. They may already be on there.
Yeah, they probably are. Hey, go to slnt.com /discount /OTD. Find out about their new camo products. They're coming out. I got a notification on that yesterday. Be the first to buy it, and it'll help us out. And if you buy something, guess what? Make sure you put OTD on it. And listen, #bring Donna back. If we can get you to buy some stuff and we get some money back from it, we're going to get her own microphone permanently. Every now and then you get to hear from her, but because Lucas is here, she gets no microphone. Where's that sound effect when you're disappointed? Yeah, that's how people feel today because they can't hear from Donna because Lucas is here. Lucas is here. We'll talk about me, but he's a guest. OnTheDock.org. Check us out, and info at OnTheDock.org. Email us and do all that and find out about us. We're glad to have you here. I'm Pastor Troy here. Got Mother Beth in the studio. Mother Beth, you doing well?
Yeah.
Fully awake and ready.
Well, I'm sorry. I was sitting
You got to get by the microphone to help.
She was listening.
Yeah, she's listening. Donna Kornuski over there. You can't hear her, but you can see her. Bring Donna back. Get it out there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram. But more important, go to Patreon and help us actually do it. We'd like to do it here. Yes, we have Mr. Lucas Winkler. This is his picture when he's our executive director, but he's not here today. He's, for the first time, a guest in our studio. He is a co-guest today with Growing Media Marketing and The Spiel. He is their audio and video editor. And beside him is our superstar guest of the day, the owner of that incredible media giant, Angie Wyatt, owner of Growing Media and The Spiel. Angie, Welcome back for episode 3, part 3. This is the roundtable discussion. This is where we get past all the stuff, and we get to the nitty gritty.
Looking forward to it.
It's like the nitty gritty dirt band.
Let's do it.
What's next? We're going to find out what's going on. We've had some good stuff on growing media marketing, and they're just an incredible organization. Let me do this real quick. Let me just show real quick. I did this in part 1. Go back and watch part 1 and part 2. You get so much. You're going to find out that. But we're going to get to the fun stuff here. So here we go. I want you to watch the growing media clip about what they can do for you. If you're a business, an organization, you have a church, you have a non-for-profit. I mean, if you have a national firm, they can actually change how people connect with you. Yeah. Here's some of the stuff that they can do. We're really impressed with this. Check out this real quick little piece and you can kind of get a window in. Here you go. Wow, growingmediamarketing.com. Go check that out. They are just doing some incredible stuff. And all their information is right up on the screen right now. We'll make sure you have a chance to look at that. We'll keep it in the background a little bit. Write that down. Check it out. Go surf their web. You don't have to go a bunch of pages. Just go down through it and everything's right there for you. You can dig in deeper and get a hold of them if you've got need to get a cultural strategy. I mean, I'm talking about not just a cultural brand, but a whole approach to everything, including access to some great media markets, and they'll get you in the right spots. Then you can check out the Spiel. We've talked about that, especially in episode 2. Go to spielon.com, check out all their episodes. Incredible show. We showed a clip on that in part 2, and you're going to want to see that. They're doing incredible work. Now, we're in our roundtable, and what's next? So let me get a few of the questions out of the way before we get to some of our deeper stuff. But one of those questions I've got is on the set. When I was on the set with you guys, I did the barbecue spot with you guys, and that was just fabulous experience. What I could feel was, I mean, okay, On the Dock is a Christian program that we do. We don't hide that. And we're on the dock. We're trying to get you out there and faith in Christ. But I'm growing media is doing marketing for all kinds of people and strategy. The Spiel's reaching out, but I could just feel a spiritual connection there with you guys. The Spirit of Christ exudes from you, Angie. When I was talking about what we're doing with barbecue and how we're changing people's lives, I could see you get really excited about it. I mean, some people look at it and go, really, but it was really cool, and it fueled me because I felt good about. I mean, I already feel good about what we're doing because I love what we do, but it lifted me up and it kind of refilled me. Awesome. It's like a fuel stuff. It's like you come in on a NASCAR thing and they pump that gas into your they can do it like 32 seconds. You get a full tank. You have the ability at the Spiel to do that. And I think growing media has the ability to pump fuel into a marketing strategy as well. What is behind that spirit? There's something in the atmosphere. Tell us about your faith and what that means to you as you approach business and you approach working with people.
Well, it's interesting because, and I'll let you speak further on this, Lucas, because you've actually been part of what they're doing in the missions. Yeah. When I heard your story, I immediately wanted to be part of it.
Thank you.
And that's just the way we feel about people doing really cool things. It's not like, okay, we're here and I'll ask you a couple of questions, and we really want to become vested sometimes. We want to go on a journey with you, and I hope that it works out right after we get Donna the mic, we're maybe get some other funds and able to, we need to bring.
We got to get Donna back. We got to get Donna back. I mean, we need Donna.
But yeah, imagine being able to document that journey. For you guys, and come back and show our viewers. And so maybe we could put that on our list. And
I love that.
Well, I mean, I think Troy has already talked to me about going back to Thailand whenever you do.
Listen, I'll tell you two things. Just these are little bit things. Yeah. I leave in April. I have the dates almost set to leave with Reverend Pei Cooper Mundalo. I'm going to meet him there. And Community Faith Church
in Liberia.
Yeah. This is Liberia, West Africa. Yeah. It's under the booty of Africa. When Africa's like a little curved buddy, it's on the coast there. And we are going there. Our church has become kind of even though we're an independent church, we've reset ourselves with Hands of Hope at the top to kind of help partner with global churches, both locally and regionally. We've got a couple of churches in the region that are wanting to come under the Community Faith Church. I'll use your language, brand. They want to be a part of what we're doing and go with us. Sure. But we have a group of churches in Thailand that we started. There is no brand there. There's no Methodist there. There's no Episcopal. There's no Lutheran. There's no Catholic. There's Buddhism. 99.1.
Less than 1%.
We went in there. Lucas was a part of that. Donna, you've been there as well, right?
Yeah.
Donna's works for Hands of Hope too, and she's been a part of everything we send everywhere. But she's been in country there, and we're gonna get her in country in Liberia. She's done more to change Liberia without going than anybody has. She sent 5 containers of relief supplies during Ebola that kept everybody alive, that kept our hospital going, and everything. It was amazing.
Awesome.
And she handles all our medical supplies for all our trips and logistics. It's just crazy.
Yeah, Donna's amazing.
And I'm frustrating because I give logistics at the last minute, and she has to stay up all night. Rick pulls his hair out because he didn't get anything to eat for weeks, and his clothes get dirty, But she always gets it done. That's what I love about Donna. She's got that spirit.
Yeah, she's like you. She kind of thrives off
She
of
does that, and that's why we work so well together. And
I'm like Rick. I'm pulling my hair out.
Yeah. And her and Rick are just alike, and that's the reason probably we survive. She goes, there's another one that can survive, and they got a survivors group.
Yeah.
How they handle, but we're fixing to. We had a bunch of churches. We started 15 churches. They've started over 100 churches. Those 15 started. They have all come to us on my last trip in November last year and said, we would like to be, the Thailand churches are Community Faith Church. We started them. There's nobody else to partner with. In Africa, we partnered with the Methodist Church there, but the Methodist Church globally is kind of breaking down. They're dividing up. All the churches we planted came to me and said, can we come under Community Faith Church like your Thai churches? I said, oh. I don't have a strategy for that. And so Community Faith Church is becoming Community Faith Church Global. And I'm moving my role to kind of leading the churches in Thailand that Lucas has been a part of starting, really. He was over there doing some of our first worship in places and leading stuff and organizing those churches. Beth and I went and trained those pastors. We have 26 trained pastors over there now. Now, the pastors in Liberia have been trained through their system, but they're not in our system. So I'm going over in April. I'm going over to train 40 pastors that have a desire to become Community Faith Church connected, either associate directly with us or at least be affiliated with us. And it is ominous right now. And then we're going to go back March 2025 and take a massive 2 to 3 week mission team to do medical surgical work in all of their communities.
That's awesome.
Credibility. It's what you do. It's what you do is you bring people something that you connect with something they need, and then they see the need in it, and they get addicted to the spiel because they know they're going to get something they need. You know how to do that. You know how to do that when you're doing marketing. You get the culture, what somebody's trying to do. You get it where it can get connected to people because go back and listen to episode 1. She doesn't read news. She reads people. And don't compromise. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna get that in front of it. So what we did in Liberia, what we do in Thailand is we'll go out and share Christ. But while we're sharing Christ, we'll do a medical mission. And when people respond to that, we'll say, come back and we're gonna have a crusade and share you about. We're gonna do the Jesus film tonight and show you Jesus. And then you're in a Buddhist country. They've never heard of Jesus. And then all of a sudden they see what we're doing. Next thing you know, they're all coming forward saying, I would like to be a follower of Jesus. Now we've trained these pastors and said, this will be your pastor. In Africa, we did the same thing. And then we have Bill Waterwell, and we'd build a school. And we put kids through school. We have a clinic over there that's got a surgical center now that is delivering one baby every day, every single day. They're doing surgery. They're building their first doctor's residence. They're doing cases every day. We have seen on medical mission 20,000 plus patients, but they're seeing that many on a regular year. And we're sending them medical supply and this. So these churches over there have seen what we've done, and now their denomination is in disarray. And they're saying, we want to be a part of Hands of Hope Foundation and Community Faith Church because they've been with us through all this. And that's where, so I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, we got to figure out how to, grow the team. And I see you doing that too.
Yeah. The part that you're glossing over, and I learned from Lucas, not only did you guys step out on faith, but there was a moment in time that you could have died. You could have been killed in the street and nobody would have ever found your bodies, And Lucas shared those stories. He goes, Angie, there was a moment, and he said that you never, ever, there was no doubt, there was no fear. You were so committed to the task.
Yeah.
And that to me is, you're a world changer.
There's been a lot of those stories in my life.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about in Thailand because you were with us.
Yeah.
The Russians.
Yeah, the Russians.
Oh, yeah.
I was terrified.
Were you really?
Oh,
Yeah.
he was scared.
You weren't there.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just me and him.
Yeah, it was just me. We were.
Oh,
yeah, it
I
was when
thought
we.
you meant. I thought you meant when we did the.
Well, that's also when we did the crusade and the guy with the machete, the terrorist
No,
guy.
I know about that, but what's
This
Lucas?
was in the street.
In the
and
brothel
having
with the
divide-
Rush.
brothel, yeah.
What happened was,
Yeah,
I'll just tell you,
we tried
folks,
to do
we
worship.
were doing worship. We had agreed with Subway to set up.
I was there.
Yeah, but not when we brokered the deal. You came later,
No,
Yeah,
but
I
we
was
were
there.
down hustling the deal. And so what happens is we're walking street in Thailand, in Pattaya, Thailand, makes. If you've ever been to or heard or seen Bourbon Street, Walking Street makes Bourbon Street look like a romper room.
Right.
This is like on super steroids, and it's gross. It's disgusting. But all of our people in our churches there come at there. All of my members and my pastors are former sex workers or worked in that industry. So all my pastors are recovered. They're all safe from that. Their children are a byproduct of who knows who's the daddy, and they're in the slum areas, and we have churches in those slums where those children are the offspring, and so we have picked the hardest places to put a church in a country that has no churches.
Well, they do have one area that is considered to be a Christian area, and they have churches, but the churches there don't want those kind of people.
I'm trying to think of what the name of that area is. I can't even come up with that name. It's it's a whole region of the country, and all.
Kochang.
Yeah, what's that?
Kochang.
No, that Kochang's the island.
That's right.
It'll come to. It'll come to us. But there's an area where all the Christian ministries go. We're in Pattaya. Pattaya is famous for one thing: sex workers. 30,000 sex workers in Pattaya. Everywhere there's something.
That's all it is.
Yeah, and
It's
one of our
just a big-
churches is right next door to Spider Girl. Spider Girl is exactly what you think it is. We rent Spider Girl out, and his band plays in front of Spider Girl while we rent the brothel out for 2 hours. We pay basically the workers to take a break, and we get out and just play great music, and we buy Cokes. Now, they actually happy about Cokes. Cokes are more expensive than their beer. So we buy Cokes, we buy regular stuff, and when we start playing there, the whole street is nothing but sex clubs. And when we start praising the Lord and playing good, I mean, we're playing kicking music, kicking Jesus music. I mean, we're not playing some old Grand Ole Opry stuff.
Right,
Nothing wrong with Grand Ole, but we're playing some kicking stuff. I mean, Lucas is a kicker.
And they're not. They're bars, but they're not like here. I mean, they're all open air.
They're, hey, big boy,
It's
come here,
all-
big boy.
But it's all open.
It's open.
all-
It's
everything's-
unbelievable, every kind. And when we start playing, out of respect, Buddhists see Jesus followers as they just see Jesus as another smart Buddha, maybe. Everybody on the street turns all their music down for the 2 hours that we're there.
Yeah.
And we end up with a captivated audience. And we end up leading people to Christ. And this ministry that we're working with, Tamar Center, they're down there always with the beauty shop. They teach English, and now we have a church there. And they're giving the girls and the boys, the lady boys, they're giving them an alternative out. And then our pastors are from there because who else would relate to them? And so we go to the worst part, which is Walking Street, and we get the permission of the Christian owner of Subway says you can play in front of our store. But then we're right across from the biggest Russian brothel in all of Pattaya, Thailand. And they come out and they're not happy about Jesus being there. And the Russians aren't the Thai, and they're not Buddhist. They're communist. And they want to explain to us what they can do.
Yeah.
And we didn't budge. And we negotiated, and we sent 3 trays of sandwiches over to their workers and said, we're going to be here for 2 hours. Now, y'all can eat Subways. We're not leaving. So, and you know what?
Wow.
It was amazing. It's amazing. We've seen other things. We've been in areas there where you see somebody come out with a machete and just stand there and look like they're going to cut your head off, you know, and you just got to get in between them. But we like to go places. What God put on my heart was to go where the gospel's not. Cut the edge.
Yeah.
Wherever the edge is. It can be in America. It doesn't have to be there. Do that which nobody else is doing and put the gospel out there where it hasn't been done. You're doing the kind of edge stuff too. That's what I really like about what you're doing at Growing Media in the Spiel is you're not sitting back where everybody else is sitting. You're sitting in, you're kind of turning up new ground. You can tell you're from central and southern Illinois where there's farm ground. You have to turn up that ground and get that fresh ground. I love that. Tell me let's just ask this question. We're got a couple questions in a minute, but what's next? I want to get that piece in. What's next for Growing Media for the Spiel? What do you see developing and give us some release here, a little story here, something so we can put out.
You looking at me?
You want to go?
Well, I mean, it's you're the sole owner. But I mean, for me, like growing media, I see actual like more growth out of the company itself, if that makes sense. Because I think I've been down for like the last few years, just with like even people who work with us, and then also some of our clients, and there's been a couple clients we found out, hey, we really probably shouldn't have been working with them. You know what I mean?
You have to pick the right fit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because somebody can come and get you and go, I really just wanted the logo. I just wanted this. I have my own ideas.
Yeah.
And you're not going to maybe be the fit for that person because you've got places you want to put them in this way, and you've got to put the right people, the right spot. If they're not going to take advice, you're not going to get the results you want either.
And you've got to have the success, because that'll just hurt our.
And they'll hold you responsible for what they wouldn't let you do.
Absolutely.
It would be my dad's a surgeon. It'd be like me, going on the table to have a gallbladder. Doesn't tell my dad how to do a gallbladder. I'm not even sure where my gallbladder's at. That's why you need to let a marketing company like Growing Media get in. Yeah. And you can't hire. Everybody can go out and hire somebody to do a little social media or maybe do some marketing for you, but it's going to be limited. And once again, I'm gonna throw up here. You've got a team of people from multiple different prospects up here, from people that can do graphics and 3D to placement to design to video to logo to audio video engineer to do your clips. And I mean, Lucas a pain in the butt, because when Lucas was, he's always like, you need to get down to a minute. You need to get down to 90 seconds. I don't do anything, so I'm a preacher.
Right.
We use a lot of words,
right.
And so he's always pushing me time, because he knows in what he does, you got a certain amount of time for them to play that song or this or that. This is where a guy like me or a guy like you need to listen to the experts, because they know maybe you're going to get that 20 minutes, but you got to get in the door first. To get in the door, you got to you got to understand what it is.
Yeah.
So you need the right fit, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We just got a guy ready to go to a Shark Tank audition.
Yeah.
Really?
And then we've gotten a couple of clients ready for trade shows.
Oh.
It's just nice to have a team that will keep your brand culture at the center of what you're doing, because the problem is when you go out and you're looking for maybe a bargain basement or one or two people to do it in office and such, your brand can fall apart very quickly, and you're not easily identified.
And you're missing whole bandwidths.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the things is, and that's what I want to get into in some of the roundtable as part of this discussion is I know the challenges coming out of COVID. A lot of businesses were devastated. Just devastated.
Oh, it was awful.
And budget shrank. Just my son Josh Crown Brew, they couldn't get the same cups 2 times in a row. One week the cup's here, and the next week the bottom's falling out of the cup. And then the cup costs twice as much because nobody can get the cup. So the guy goes, I can stick it to you for a bad cup. And, and they even had to stop doing food for a while because they couldn't get a consistent avocado, let alone a strawberry that looked real.
Yeah.
And things are tough. Businesses had tough times, and then they got lean, and then what goes? People say, "Well, I don't want to market. We'll do this for ourselves." But I always told people in pastoring, when you get a church down, a lot of churches will have the mentality, our church isn't struggling, so we need to cut. If you cut, what are you going to plant? If you eat your seed, you have nothing next year. No doubt. I always tell people the solution for a church that's in decline is not reduction, but figuring out how to put forth an investment.
That is right.
And if you plant the seeds through marketing properly, you can reap the right harvest. But if you have limited dollars, you need to be smart about that. And that's what I like what you're doing. You're not given the one approach, because if you've got the one person, they can do the one thing or maybe the 2 things, but you can do the 9 things. Right. And probably less than you can hire somebody to do the full thing, to be honest. By the time you pay them what Illinois requires and work comp and all that stuff, and then they're gone half the year, your guys don't, you just give them a deadline, they're going to work it out with you, and boom, it's there.
That's right. That's what we say. It's like you just hired a full-time marketing ad agent, an ad person without that full-time salary and benefits. The thing I wanted to point out, though, about COVID, thank you, Jesus, we were COVID resistant. Wow. And here's why. Because nobody had ever planned for anything like that, and I know that you guys sort of seized the opportunity.
We did. We were quick on it. Me and Lucas did some things you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, and it's because all of a sudden we needed to get information out to everybody, and everybody was sitting there on the edge of their seats. Banks. How am I going to communicate with my customers now? Right. Healthcare facilities. How are they going to do it? And the healthcare facilities we represent, they did it better than anybody did as far as taking care of people and testing and things like that. But it was a way, and we had already worked together long enough, and all of our clients, we got that information out there, and people were receiving it and being very proactive. And you know what? it was sort of amazing to watch that happen. While there was a breakdown and everything.
You attacked it.
100%.
Yeah, I'll tell a little bit. Lucas and I pastor a community faith church, and we'll tell you a little bit about the end. But when COVID was coming, we felt it coming. We run the Hair and House of Hope as well, and I was getting a few warnings that this is coming. My dad's a doctor; he's got a CDC partner. You could just see something was coming. It's coming bad. And about 8 days out, I got one brush by that the governor might do this. We got a little early clip. And I thought, oh man, if we're getting a brush back like this, it could happen. So I'm sitting there one day and I'm thinking, I'm just going to I don't have time to call elders meeting. I can't ask for permission for this. So I just click online, and I got another click, and almost as I started surfing, I got a click that says it's going to happen. I'm on the site. I'm on like a couple of your sites. What's the site you use? That's
B&H.
B&H and stuff. And I'm watching. He's the expert in this. I do some of this stuff, and I just start picking the best cameras I can find, and I'm watching them go 22, 21, 20, 20. You're seeing the number count go down. I'm watching it. It looks like a countdown. And I just thought, heck with this, 3, boom, 3. And I didn't know which cables and cords you need. I just ordered some of all of them and microphones. And I thought, then I was talking to Lucas, and Lucas saying, well, you better get this too. And I better get a tripod. I was ordering stuff. The next thing you know, $5, $6, $7, $8, $10,000. I didn't call any of our elders. I just, they came in for a meeting the next night, and I said, I want to tell you what I did, and I can spend money here, about $5,000 without asking, I've got a little bit of room there, and I've been here 15 years, so I got a little bit of grace. And I said, I spent a lot of money last night, and they're like, you did what? A couple of them said, like, you did what? And I said, let me show you what's left of these products. And I popped a couple up on the screen, and they were all like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, because they had announced it's closed, and it was closing on Monday. We had everything coming. And we're like, every church is going to be closed.
Yeah.
And I told them, we'll be up. We won't miss a Sunday. Even if we're closed, we're going to broadcast. We never missed a Sunday.
That's awesome.
He got the stuff, somehow got it together. We got other pieces. And
Is
then
that when you fell through the ceiling tiles? Or
probably running cable over.
Was that here or where did you
Here.
do that? You were
Oh,
up
it
at
was
the
here.
He stepped
ceiling.
through here.
I fell the ceiling tiles?
Yes.
You stepped into the ceiling.
Almost.
Oh
You
gosh,
almost-
he hit his head harder than we think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Which way?
Going over the top
You
when
were
you stepped
going
through
over
the
the beams and you said you fell.
You
Remember?
stepped.
Oh,
You just stepped into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just forgot that.
Yeah.
That was
We don't want to admit that to our insurance company. We were but we got all this stuff in. And then what was funny was you seized the moment. Instead of retreating, we pushed forward.
Go.
And the elders looked at me and said, good call. And then about a week or 2, 3, everybody's closed. All the churches are down. There are pastors coming out and going to church with us or online with us. They're coming and calling Lucas and saying, can you get us set up like Troy? And they'd come and look at it and they'd see all the equipment. And he said, I'm sorry, it's 0, 0, 0, 0. You can't find the equipment. You couldn't find
it was all
equipment.
gone.
It was gone.
Like 6 months.
And then, horrible. And now they're doing an iPhone. They got one iPhone and it looks like a ping pong ball. You can press in and invest, or you can retreat. And I am not a retreater. I'm just not. We didn't retreat with the Russians.
No,
we're not
we
going to.
didn't.
We're not going to retreat with the terrorists. You're not going to retreat on a project with somebody.
Right.
You're going to help people take that money and invest it wisely. And we didn't spend a lot of money, but we did it. And then I came back to him, and we were in the middle of COVID, and I said, I'm going to build a studio in here and do this on the dock. I'm going to add some new content to our church. And it really. And you know what? What's funny? That time they said, go ahead and spend it.
Nice.
Sometimes
Proof in performance.
Yeah, leaders lead. And that's what you got to do. And that's you got to lead. What I love at what I'm seeing at Growing Media and is you got a leadership culture developed, and you're working with that. Tell me, this is our roundtable stuff. We'll take about 10 minutes here, and we'll get this in. But I'm thinking. I started off in economics and finance, took a lot of marketing classes, then got my doctorate in church development and marketing. Beth and I have been to multiple church planning seminars, and a lot of that's marketing placement. How do you brand yourself and all that? And in the marketing world, they tell you somebody needs to see something like 8 times before it begins to connect. And it begins to be thinking about being a household name, or you identify that name with that law firm, or that name with that accountant, or that body shop, or that car. You got to get it from. But in our society today, people have got very shorter attention spans than they used to. That used to would have been maybe in your TV network days, a 30-second commercial.
Right. Maybe
Maybe in a 60-second commercial. Right. And now I see more of them that are 15 seconds or 10s. And like if you go on right now, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, or Getter right now, every time I click on Getter now, they want to show me like 12-second piece, and then I can click X and get out of it, because I'm too cheap to pay for the non-ad version.
Right.
So a lot of these ads now have to be 5, 8, 9, 10, maybe YouTube, like 4 seconds before you can hit skip. So that mean that in that 4 seconds, you've got to communicate something that's meaningful.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they don't need to feel like they're being marketed to, because the consumer is so smart now. We create pieces that normally we open with this epic shot, like this beautiful, the best picture at the front and the back, and you keep their attention if you can, but they don't even realize it's a commercial. And the same thing has started happening now in movies and in pop culture. It's like placement, product placement everywhere. Just anywhere
what you
can
see,
Yes.
the 3D effect causes you to hold for maybe that you're trying to get somebody to go, whoa,
hold.
there's a value there. Let me see that. I remember, Lucas, something you shot, or you were Rob was shooting for the piano in the rain.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
fire in
It was
the
a music
rain.
video.
The music video, Fire in the Rain.
So
when
good.
I saw that,
So good.
if I caught that, I would have had to see it all, because it was too much to believe that they would have a piano out in the rain. And I guess that piano would have been devastatingly destroyed.
It was.
Just so you know, it was bad. It was a
Yeah.
destroyed piano.
Oh my
anyway.
gosh!
Yeah.
But you look at that, you go, I need to hear this. That's serious. The value you can bring to catch somebody's attention has got to be good today.
Oh yeah.
Or really base simple, so that it just kind of gets in the cerebral cortex, and then if you can get it there another way again,
Frequency,
you can get there.
yeah.
Because do you think with people with shorter attention spans, the quality of what you put out has to be enhanced and strengthened? And I guess you got to figure out more ways to get people exposed to it, because people are side swiping and moving, swiping, and they're using different things. So how do you do that? How do you get somebody out there so that they can be seen in the culture today when nobody wants to look at anything?
That's why we would like the mix up, if you will, is you mix a little bit of social in, a little bit of digital in, all stay consistent. And then if you've got the extra budget, because that's the other thing we tell our clients, we can work within any budget as long as you keep your expectations in line with your, results and or your investment.
Your investment,
Help me
yeah.
with this? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Investment in line with your expectations.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
spending a little, what I'm saying is, if you're spending a little, you're going to get a little attention. If you're spending more and you're investing more into your business,
Get more
a
attention.
lot more
Yeah.
attention. Yeah. So we'll say, why don't you consider morning news or that big sports event? The other thing I would say, your favorite podcast, be a sponsor.
On that, right?
Yeah, they're saying your name. What you've done today for that group, the silent group. I now know that name. I didn't know that name before I
Right.
got here today.
Right.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I heard another podcast this morning, actually speaking for them, and me and Donna were listening to that briefly, and we thought they didn't do near as good a job. So go to slnt.com, promo code OTD,
Look
and this is a perfect time because Donna will be. Oh, look at that! She got the lower third up, isn't it? She's smooth.
Man.
She's trained by Lucas.
Somebody's sending a mic today.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can feel it.
yeah. Exactly. You get that out there, and people start taking a look at it, and they tell others about it, and you make it come alive.
Yeah.
You may not consider everything, but they picked SL&T picked us because we were picked on,
That's awesome. Yeah.
and you got to
Whatever it
find that
takes.
market to hit the people that are looking at that moment of need, and somebody to go through that and figure that out. That's not a part-time job. You've got to have
right.
specialists on that.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and
whole
know
team.
know the demographics of who you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is our analytics. I think our clients really appreciate this. Is we're reporting to them, and you can see how many people clicked on your website. You can see what they did with your website. You can see if they called. We even have foot traffic conversion now, which means I can tell you the number of people who walked through the door of whatever business. A little creepy, but again.
No, Google
it-
but it-
Yeah.
SL&T. That's how they stop that. But there's other ways to traffic that. They come in, they ask, where do you live?
Yeah.
Or you can, yeah. Analytics are a key
Yeah.
because it shows real results.
Right.
And-
And I think people like that.
Oh yeah.
I do
I
too,
think that's-
especially if this is if you're, like you said, investment in line with your expectations, you can deliver back those expectations. I'm working on a project right now for the Hearing House of Hope where we're fixing to add maybe we'll talk more about this later, but I'm going to be adding a community clinic, a gap clinic to help people when they don't have insurance to having insurance, getting care. And I've got a vision and dream to have the main provider that we have, one person that's going to use volunteer physicians, volunteer PAs doing the clinic. But I want to have one person to manage cases. And I have a vision to go out and get 3 individual organizations in Southern Illinois to help pay that position. I'm going to get
Love
them
that.
to pay the $100,000 salary to have somebody that's an RN that's a social worker and can do education, because we're going to have to educate people, diabetes and this and that. They got to bring people in. So it's a highly trained job, and they're going to be managing a whole entire operation of volunteers. If you understand, volunteers like herding cats. So you have to be skilled. So we're talking about a senior nurse, somebody's got, ward experience, teaching experience. And how am I going to pay for that? Well, I figured out that when we have people getting this medicine, we're going to help them get an insurance card from the state of Illinois. They're going to get one when they're done, because we got approved to do that with the state of Illinois already. Before we've even built it, I've been approved by the IDPH to do that, and with the emergency services of Illinois. And so they're going to help us fast track this because of our credibility at the Heron House of Hope and doing through COVID. So they're going to help our clinic because they need it. And we've got Take Action Today. Go watch their episode with us on taking it to the street spotlight. Their behavioral health care. They're going to help us as a partnership. So I'm going to be going to these 3 providers and giving them an offer they can't refuse. And as if you'll each help us pay this one salary, we're going to give every patient back to you when they get their card.
Oh,
wow.
And we're going to give it back to you in ratio to what you're paying on this salary. And we're going to do it by the size of your businesses. Y'all put them in here. I believe God's going to provide, because I can tell them, give me 1 year. And they all know me because we've done Hands of Hope stuff with them overseas. This is the first time I can help them back. They give me stuff that they want to go to Africa one way, and they feel better about it. They're not throwing it away. It's going to Africa and treating patients.
Sure.
Now, finally, I can say to this medical organization or this hospital organization or this one, and I'm talking about all 3 of them in this region, I'll give you all back equal share patients to what you spend if you'll participate in this free clinic. And they won't go to your emergency rooms. They'll come to us first, and we'll give them to you, and you can get a billing. And when we hand them to you, you at the end of the year can analyze your analytics to the 12 patients, to the 20 patients, to the 10 patients we sent you based on your size. And you can see whether your investment was more than paid back for by charges.
There you go.
And we can follow it for years.
Nice.
So, and I have a feeling I'll make this work, because my economics of finance tells me I'm going to give them an offer of Italian tea that they cannot refuse. That's what you're doing. Is you're showing people that it works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And give them an offer they can't refuse. Let your marketing speak for itself.
I couldn't believe it. Like I told you before, I stand and ask, how did we do for you? Because I understand if you give us 1 check, we better give you 3 in return. And I'll never forget one of our first clients. We grew a real estate company from 40 to 50 million.
Wow, that's incredible. That's distinctly noticeable.
Oh, yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
that was a really cool relationship. And I know that a lot of times people come to us by word of mouth, which is the greatest form of advertising.
My bar for On the Dock, I have a very high bar. Obviously, I just told you about our GAP clinic that we're working on here, Community Hands Hope Foundation GAP clinic that we're doing with the Hair Now Soap. And there'll be more on that. But I have very high bars for my ministry side. I always have low bars for myself. My bar for this show is that when we're done, that the connected exposure that we are able to get, because we have Angie White here and we have Lucas Winkler, and they're just fantastic, is that we get hashtag bring Donna back.
Yeah.
So we're going to get her microphone.
Yes.
No.
We're making a declaration.
No. This is my last big question, then I'll run around the horn with everybody and let you guys do some wrap-ups. But network news, I don't mean this bad, network news, and I have to even say this, they were they're local. They became more local. They do their little national spot. But even the national news is the big ones like the CNN, the MSNBC, the Fox. They are becoming just nobody watches. I mean, we used to never leave our house without having it on. Now we put on like the Serenity Pond.
Absolutely.
We'd rather have landscapes from Dish TV and see what's jumping around the woods.
Right.
People are turning that off. They're turning on things like the Spiel. They're turning on things that will enrich their lives. They're going to find the news from podcasters and sources that they can actually trust, because they've come in their home and they've trusted them over years. We used to know our local people, but now they're just kind of moved around and they're pieces and cogs and you know that. So if network news is changing, program is changing, excuse me. Of course, as I get to
Was that one of those little ones? Okay,
That
gotcha.
got choked up in that.
Gosh, we talked about this at the beginning. How are we going to adapt? What's your suggestion for the adaptation so that we can get information in front of people? Because the tastes are changing. Well, what are we going to do to get information in front of people? Because people's changing what they're listening to, and their minds are like Dory today.
Oh, yeah.
They quickly move on.
Squirrel. Yeah. No
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of things happen with news, and here's the demise, in my opinion. I would never release a story unless I had both sides, right? Now they want to be first, so they're going with it. They don't care if the
No
information is
verify,
good.
no nothing.
No,
Yeah.
and it has come back and bitten so many people to the point that you no longer want it.
Right.
You no longer value it.
Because you
They
don't
will-
trust it.
They will report stuff on you without even calling the person and asking them for their
So
response.
dangerous.
And you find
So
out it's not even true.
dangerous. No, it's not
Yeah.
even true. I know, and it's really sad. But I think we are in a time when we want it, when we want it, how we want it, right?
Quick.
So you just have to be, and you're doing this on this show. You have to be forthcoming. You have to be truthful. You have to shoot from the hip, but from the heart is just as important. Don't allow anyone to censor you or tell you what you can and cannot say.
Yeah.
If you feel it and it's something that is on your heart and on your mind, and especially if it's of Christ, share it, because
Yeah.
those are the things that we will be measured by, and those are the most important things you could ever do in your life.
Yes.
And that's the only story I care about.
Yeah.
And Lucas mentioned fit. You've got to look when you take a client, you give them a call and talk to them, but you're going to have that conversation. You're going to know if it's a fit.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to know if it's a fit. And then you go from there. One of the things you just said about the truth and verifying as a news anchor and stuff, knowing that and how that's changed. It's true in the pastor world. If you're out there and you're in ministry and you're a pastor, listen to us. And we have a lot of pastors that watch our show, that have been on our show. I learned this the hard way early in my ministry. I would get a call and say, Uncle Charlie's dead. Uncle Charlie's dead.
This was in one particular town.
They
that we
were
served.
really good at stuff. Sister Lucy, it was just burned real bad, is on the way to the emergency room. So something happened, and a couple times I jumped in the car and headed to the hospital, and I get there, they're not there. I called on one day, and I called on one of them. I called the husband and said, "I'm just so sorry about your wife." He says, "Well, my wife's right here with me." I go to the hospital, they're not dead. And what I got was somebody misheard something, and they got it wrong.
Yeah.
And,
Smaller the town, the worse
Oh,
it is.
yes,
100%.
I got a call in the middle of the night. This is not even that town. I got a call in the middle of the night from somebody that said, "I heard my mentor, my spiritual father's Fred Bishop. He's the one who taught me to stand and not give my ground." He said, if you this is what caused me to not back up from the Russian, not back up from the guy with the machete that day. I just don't give ground. If I die, that's fine. The good thing about dying for Christ is you go right under the altar under Jesus. The martyrs go right there. You get to watch the whole show. Guess what? Before even us on the ground rise and join, they get a white robe and they're going to be on the horses right behind him. So I've just decided I would rather ride with Jesus than be a loser against him, because they go in the toilet bowl at the end and go down forever. I'm not going to do that. And my mentors taught me that. They taught me not to quit, not to stand down. Then I got a little bit of football in me. So I like to go hit it. So I mean, gosh, I've learned if you back up, the devil knows you'll back up, and then he'll get in your lunchbox every day.
doubt.
He's a schoolyard bully.
The ground that you back up from, the devil will take that ground.
Oh,
That's right.
no doubt.
That's right. And you got to have the declaration that no weapon formed against me will prosper, and step up. That doesn't mean you won't fail and have to back up and fix some things like
Get
that.
knocked down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get knocked down. But the Bible says though a righteous man falls down, he gets back up. The righteous get knocked down. What separates the righteous from the wicked is the getting up. It's not wallowing in it. It's repenting and going, hey, I made a mistake, but I'm going to get back up there on that horse and go again. I'm going to learn from this, and you grow in your ways. And I've learned that. And
Okay, now you're preaching, and do you remember what your story was?
I have no idea.
I love it, man. I was there. I was about to give an amen. there.
But Fred, I get a call in the middle of the night. She knows me well. I get a call in the middle of the night. Brother Fred's dead.
Oh.
He had a heart attack and died. Well, Shane, his dad, his son is who led me to Christ. He's my best man. His wife is. I mean, I called Shane and said, I heard about your dad. He says, "What are you talking about? It's 4 a.m. What are you talking about?" I said, "I heard your dad died." He said, "My dad's not dead."
Crazy.
You know. So
Crazy.
I had a couple of these things early on, and I've just learned I don't do that anymore.
No.
I pick up a phone and call somebody. I check and I do all that stuff.
Verification.
Yeah.
And so because you learn very quick, and don't you think the consumers out here have learned that they start learning? They don't trust you, and it's hard to ever get analytics if you don't trust the beginning of the process.
That's right.
And truth detectors, people are truth detectors today. They can kind of tell,
Oh.
and they won't tolerate it. They won't
They
tolerate
will
it.
not.
They won't tolerate it at all.
It's funny that you use that kind of example, because I think every single day we see an announcement that some celebrity has died, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you find out it's not true.
It's not true.
And
Yeah.
it's
not
just
true.
clickbait.
Yeah.
It's just, they're just trying
Crazy.
to get you to look at so people don't trust.
No.
There's no trust out there anymore, and you can't blame people.
None at
You know,
all.
but if you're authentic, people will figure that out, and that's where they're going to
You
gravitate.
become a viable source. Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
as we wrap up this show, we're going to have other people that have podcasts. Podcasts are very popular today. TV shows are popular. And we have an incredible talent that's been on the air. She's been on the radio since 15 years old. Gosh, I'm
You
not
know
gonna-
why he's laughing like that? She's like, she is so old now.
Well,
do the math. You will not believe
I was going
the
to ask
number
you.
of years.
I was going to ask you how long you've been on, but then that would tell us how old you are. I would never do that to you. But you've been on. Well, not long. You just started. But a few
More
years.
than 35 years.
35 years. I've been a pastor 35 years. So that's. I mean,
We're about the same age then.
yeah, we're getting real close to that. Yeah, yeah. My
You were in the pulpit at 15 too?
No. I was not good at 15.
Party at
You're,
15.
You were ahead. No. Yeah, my year of birth is the year of the first Super Bowl, so that's
Okay.
why I love football.
I'm a
So-
71 model.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. All right, I like that. All right, Beth's older than all of us. She's.
I knew that
Thank
was
him
coming
for saying
next.
Threw
that.
her
Right,
right
right,
under the bus.
I married the woman for her check. It's coming soon.
See, I
She's
thought
not-
Lucas and I were close in age. And finally, he had enough one day. He goes, Angie, why do you
We're
keep
not
saying
that
that?
close.
I am. And I'm like, oh, gosh, you could be my son. He goes, well, I mean,
Yeah.
But don't you get after a certain age, it gets
Oh,
it doesn't
yeah.
matter anymore. It's
Doesn't
like
matter.
we're all the same.
Yeah.
Lucas got a lot of sensibility.
Until you get to another certain age, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah, then you're like, hey, he's too old. But we got all these people watching. This is going to be a bonus piece segment as we wrap up here. If you're doing a podcast, and like I've got kind of a little stuff here. We were talking about before the show, what do you do when you're an on-air person? And we're taped, so we push away, and Donna cuts our mic, and I cough, and you guys have been feeling good for me. And I've gone through like 10 halls. And just by the way, they work pretty good. I like the honey better. These little things here. These things here, I tried these because Beth brought them home.
Choking
And
hazards.
there's, they don't work. They might work, but they don't work if you're speaking while they work. I've been going through those. You get those cough moments. And what's funny is when you get the cough moments, you're like, I got to finish this question. I'm not at a point. Somebody, you remember one of the early shows, I just coughed right in the mic, full bore blown.
yeah.
It just blew everybody's ears out. So I've learned to push back. And I sometimes I'll try to do this. If I'm trying to do this to Donna, like, they're never looking at me then. They're streaming on their internet or doing their, whatever. I get no help. And, you get in that question you're interviewing, it's always the wrong time.
Oh, I know.
And then
I know.
you feel it coming and the sweat, and you start, it's like heat pressure starts building.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you blow. Do you have any advice? You've been doing this for so long. How do you handle those moments?
You pay your director a lot of money to cut you in
you go-
those instances.
you-
please watch, and when you see I'm dying inside,
They'll
just
go to
please,
commercial.
do
On live stuff,
something,
they may even go to commercial.
Oh, absolutely.
Cut away.
Yeah.
That's why all of a sudden you see the weather person, they're not ready. Like, what?
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
They're hustling around,
That's funny that you bring that up. So one morning, I used to do the morning show. So, you're in by 2, up at 2, in by 3, on the air at like 5. Anyway, we were running behind that morning, and the weather guy was such a funny guy to begin with. So we both rushed to set. He falls. Well, okay, the first part of the newscast is usually pretty serious and a pretty scary story.
Yeah.
We're laughing because
Oh, no.
so a bunch of hate mail comes in. They're like, how could you?
You insensitive
Such a
people.
Yes, so insensitive. And I, of course, tried to explain, but it was bad. I mean, you're still a person, you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes.
And sometimes you just got to laugh that stuff
do.
off. It
You
doesn't
do.
mean it's, yeah. This is incredible. We have really enjoyed this. I want you to go check out growingmediamarketing.com. And I think they could be really right for you. So go check them out, have a conversation with them, and get to know their team and get on that page, check it out. But give them a call and meet with some of their team there. And then go check out the Spiel, spielon.com. Check that out. Go look at some of their shows and make sure you get linked in to them on YouTube so you know when the next one comes out. You don't want to miss it. And I think these two are they've just enhanced Southern Illinois and way beyond that, guys. I mean, way beyond that. So thank you for being on the show, Angie. It's been an honor to have you here. Lucas, to have you on the guest side of the mic.
I know, right?
Killed it.
Yeah, that
So
side.
good.
Yeah, that side. Like you'll have to probably figuring things that we need to fix back here now. So, but we do. He did get up between one of the breaks and said, "Well, there's too much reflection on Otis. We got to get Otis. We got to get Otis Reddings above me here." And so he moved the lights. He moved one of the lights a bit. So just changing his position gave him a different perspective. that's what you need from Growing Media is a team
Different, right.
that can
Look at
give
it a
a
different
growing.
way.
Yeah. And let me pop their team up here one more time. What a great team and more behind it. And they can give you a different perspective on what you're doing and get you connected to the right people. And make sure you check out the spiel. And I love that little hallway. You can go up. It's really
pretty
cool.
cool,
You got
yeah.
elevator and everything. Hey, and sometimes we can't do it right now.
Don't
use
get in the elevator.
Yeah, don't get out there. Yeah.
We had alpaca.
Yeah, I want
Trapped
to
in the
go
elevator.
watch on the go watch the
I heard
spielon.com.
that story.
Go watch spielon.com and you can watch the alpaca in the elevator. Don't put alpaca in the elevator.
No.
And to put Rob and the alpaca
No, Rob had to carry the
Rob
alpaca
ended
down
up-
the
yeah.
steps.
down the steps. Yeah, and you got to
Oh,
see that
man.
because
Alpacas do not do stairs.
somehow you guys kept cameras running on that. That was very smart.
Oh, yeah.
Content always there. Go, hey, check it out on the doc.org. We want you to go see that. Go watch all the rest of this. There was 2 other parts in front of this and a whole season 1 and 2 and 3 to experience. We'd love to have that. And info at on the doc.org is our email to get more to us. Go to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and find out about our content there. We'd love to have you there. Get connected there so that they're always dropping in your lap every Tuesday and Thursday. And we got our other providers as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, Getter. We'd love to have conversation with you. We'll link you up. Ask us how. We'll link you up with them. We'll give you all this information. Check out the description of our show feeds. We always put links in. So we'll put the Growing Media link in. We'll put the Spiel On link in, and you'll see it underneath. A lot of you don't know, but if you go to YouTube and look more under the description and more, there's all kinds of stuff under there. Also, there's stuff like like the Rumble one as well. Go check that out, and you can also probably find, maybe Donna will put in the hashtag Bring Donna Back and tell you how to go to Patreon and do that. We'll see. We'll get her back here. Hit subscribe, like, notify, tell other people about it. Go to that Patreon, download that app right now on your phone, Droid or iPhone, and look up On the Dock with Pastor Troy. Be a partner of our show and or be a sponsor. If you're one of those people that need a sponsorship with us, we'll talk to you about that and help you be a part of that. And we are right now working for slnt.com. Go to promo code OTD at their site. Find out how you can get one of their special Fair Day bag products and reclaim your right to disconnect. www.slnt.com/discount/OTD will get you to our page, or just when you check out, hit OTD, you'll get all of our discounts and special shipping. They've got lots of other products and new stuff coming out. Check those out. At the end of this, we'll show you a little commercial on that, and you can find out more about that if it's a right fit for you. If you got a key fob, if you got one of those credit cards that can just be read, if you've got anything you don't want your privacy detected on, there's times when you got special things you need to traveling through an airport or something. I think they've got a product that will help you out, especially if you're in an information sensitive position. Hey, if you don't have a church home, we want you to go to coftv.com and find out about Community Faith Church. Angie, where do you go? I know you live more in Central Illinois these days.
I love to visit churches, and I've been blessed to find a church home in Decatur.
Fantastic.
It's a nice church, and I like to visit churches here. And Lucas has invited me. I need to come watch you preach.
Absolutely.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed the teas that I got
Fantastic.
there. That was awesome. So,
Fantastic.
And then, of course, just your song leaders and such. I mean,
man.
you've got the best in the region right here.
Reach out to us. Reach out to Angie. She's
amazing.
up in the Decatur region. She can give you a link to some place up there. But we want to see you get in a church home where the gospel's being preached. And reach out to us. Check us out. Our content's online too. We both have Sunday service at 10, 6:30 on Wednesday. And we actually put those out on feeds. And you can see the links at coftv.com. We'd love to have you. Angie, it's been an absolute joy to have you here. Thank you for giving us
We're not
your
done.
time.
We're going to do a lot more together.
Oh yeah. I got a feeling that's happened. Listen, I mean, just our logo. Listen, I'm going to take a moment here, but one more time. Here you go. You ready, girl? Here it goes. I'm just saying.
I love this.
I got to get season 4 on the dock. At least that.
You need that.
I need that. I need that.
You can even use this music. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, what I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Dustin. I'm going to bring Lucas and Josh back, and get Josh, my son Josh, as well too, and Ben, and say I'm going to play Otis again, and say I need a version in that beat.
There you go.
that beat.
Oh, I
In that
love
beat. See what they could throw out, because Dustin did it not even on the song.
Yeah.
True.
What if we could put a little funk in it?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
You know.
Justin can because
Yeah.
he's Pentecostal.
He's Pentecostal. He can do it. He can do it. I know he can do it.
is
Luke, it's been a
hilarious.
pleasure to have you on that side of the table.
Yeah.
And you're in gray today. We've seen you in white. We've seen you in black. One of these days, we will see him in color. Ooh. Yeah. That's the next evolution in the Digimon. Yeah, the Digimon. That goes back a long time, doesn't it? Yeah, Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger.
Pink Ranger. Donna, you've been great today. You did good. Angie, did she do okay?
She did
Yeah,
fabulously.
yeah.
Yes.
And Angie, it was good to have your team here today. Your marketing team in the studio with us today, and just a blessing again. Mother Beth, thank you for staying awake.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mother Beth fell asleep on me Sunday in church. I mean, it's embarrassing. In the preacher. I've never seen her do that, but we've had guests in our house for a week straight.
Yes.
A week straight. They
she's
left
tired.
yesterday for back for Africa. We love Mother Deborah and Pastor Pay. We'll have a show with them on Taking the Spotlight, but we are exhausted from hosting them. And but so we're gonna get a little rest here. But we thank you guys for your time.
yeah,
Thank you
it's
for your
been so
day.
much fun
It's been a great
today.
episode.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah, we've learned just so much. I'm Pastor Troy. We enjoyed having you. Go back and check this one out, the previous 2 episodes in this series, Taking It to the Street Spotlight. And we have been spotlighting an incredible bunch of folks, and they're with Growing Media and The Spiel. So go check that show out, check out their content and do that. And then we'll look forward to seeing you back. We've got a lot more things happening with you real soon here. I'm Pastor Troy, and as we get out of here and we go to the next show, it'll be dropping your way on a Tuesday or Thursday. Go to onthedock.org. As we go out, check out SLNT and see if one of their products are right for you. We love you. Take care. And if you don't know Jesus, we'd love to talk to you about him. Come see us, and we'll tell you, man. God bless. And again, Jesus is Lord. Check this out from SLNT, and go get one of those, and hashtag bring Donna back.
There are more than 8 billion phones in the world. A fact that threatens your privacy, security, and health. With Silent Pocket Faraday protection, you can regain control over your mobile devices.
Baby's here.
Ezra is
We get
coming
it.
to-
Privacy and security are inconvenient topics. And you may feel like you have nothing to hide, but the fact is that in the modern world, your laptop is never really off. Your phone emits a signal, even in airplane mode. And everything from your passport to your credit cards contains RFID, and all of it contains valuable private information that is easily exploited in the wrong hands. Silent Pocket offers a range of products you already use: wallets, bags, travel gear, laptop sleeves, key cases, but with the added protection of our patented Faraday technology, which turns your devices invisible and safe from the outside world. Many industries, from top business professionals to government officials, require the use of Faraday products for the day-to-day security of them and their staff. They understand that we are constantly at risk and take the necessary steps to prevent future attacks. We offer this elite technology to anyone that values their personal data, and we are proud to offer a premium range that fits seamlessly into your everyday life, providing security without looking like a tinfoil hat. As we learn to live with technology, Silent Pocket stands on the 3 pillars of privacy, security, and health. Our goal is to provide harmony with mobile technology without risking our most valuable information. We hope you'll trust us to help you do the same.